How often have you felt shame for not being able to balance different areas of your life? Pretty often, right? Now, what if we redefine what balance means? What if balance has nothing to do with what things externally looks like, but more about what it feels like? Oftentimes, when you believe balance is about how well balanced the different areas of your life is, this creates a lot of shame and guilt when things are not seemingly balanced outwardly. And what happens then when certain areas of your life demands more attention from you? I believe what balance is that it changes with what season you're in, right? I believe balance is about internal alignment. I believe balance is about prioritizing based on what would feel good to you. When you feel good about what you're prioritizing in your life and business, and when you trust your intuitive callings about what to do and what not to do, that is internal balance to me. That is balance. So ask yourself, what if I let go of this ideal, this balance ideal of what balance is in my mind? What if I let go of that? What if I was allowed to be imperfect? What if I was allowed to be seemingly unbalanced, as far as what it would look like from outside, and do whatever my energy calls me to do without any shame whatsoever around it? What would I do then? How would I spend my time? Where would I allow my energy to flow? You see, sometimes your energy is wanting to go into the direction of creating. Other times, your energy is wanting to go towards nourishing friendships. Sometimes your energy is wanting to go into your own personal growth. The reason why you might be unfulfilled is that you're resisting your intuitive callings of where to direct your energy. You have all of these shoulds as far as what you should do, right? And what you shouldn't do. And that creates resistance within you. That is perfectionism, right? For example, it creates a weird resentment to your work if you spend a lot of your time working and you feel like you shouldn't spend so much time working, creating, and expressing based on what others have told you work-life balance is, right? But what if that is what would give you the most energy right now? What if working and expressing yourself and creating, what if that is exactly what feels good to you now? Maybe you feel like you should be prioritizing family, should be prioritizing friends, should be prioritizing personal growth. But what if those shoulds aren't yours to keep? What if those shoulds, right? What if they basically are rooted in social conditioning that you've taken on as your own internal dialogue? It is the ideal of everything having to be seemingly balanced that creates resentment when your reality is not that in which you thought it should be, right? So when you have an ideal in your mind, a balance ideal in your mind, where you believe you should be able to, let's say, shut off after 6 p.m., that you should be able to knock off this and this and this, and do all of these other things as well, this is an argument with reality, and this is why you struggle with it. You believe things should look and be a certain way, and that you should have a beautifully balanced life where you spend the right amount of hours with family, kids, friends, exercising, work, this and that. But that rarely happens, does it? Why is that? Well, it's because we're intuitively called to spend our energy in certain ways. And when we cut that off and say that we're meant to and we should and we have to balance everything perfectly, quote unquote, that is again what creates massive frustration, resistance, and stress. Once you accept reality, which is that everything's connected, which means that you can't balance two things that are the same, can you? And that you accept that there is no balance, but always balance at the same time, how would you feel? What if you were free to be imperfect and seemingly unbalanced, looking from the outside in, but knowing that you have that internal balance because you're doing what you feel called to do, knowing that you're the only one that can know what works for you in this season that you are in right now? Most people are asking the question, what can I do, right, to have work-life balance? A lot of high performers with perfectionism says this too. And, I say that I help high performers to really step into and return to that in which they truly are, which is that they are sunflowers and bloomers who are bright, brave, and balanced. And so they're wondering, what does balance mean? Well, this is what it means, yeah? It's having internal balance, knowing what works for you right now in the season that you're in. What calls your energy, right? The question really is, what would my life look like and feel like if I let go of all these ideals in my mind, these shoulds? What if I was allowed to be imperfect? What if I was just allowed to do what I want to do right now? What would I do? Who would I be? What would I create? Oftentimes, you might operate within constraints, right? From friends and family nagging you and telling you that you're weird, and thus you impose those ideals on yourself, right? They might not tell you directly, but maybe indirectly, or kind of shame you a little bit here and there for spending your energy the way that you do. But trust me when I say that deep down, you know exactly what would give you the most energy right now and where you feel like, directing your attention, right? So this is why I don't really believe in this thing, work-life balance, because everything is connected at the end of the day. I believe that they're one, right? And that they're a system that has parts to it that are working together. The only reason that makes you unfulfilled is because you have a belief that it should be a different way. Again, this makes it so that you're in conflict with reality, the reality of what is and what your energy is telling you to do. Yeah? Now, as you let go of the belief that balance is supposed to look a certain way and feel a certain way, you can allow yourself to do exactly what you feel called to do and nourish different parts of your life exactly how you'd like. And you will see that balance is your natural state of being. It just surfaces, right? It resurfaces whenever you tune in and allow your energy to flow where you want it to flow. So let go of the balance ideal. Let go of the fake made-up fantasy, right? Let go of trying to control it all and say that I'm going to allow my energy to flow where it wants to flow. You'll be a much more fulfilled sunflower and bloomer for that reason. And ironically, again, that's when internal balance occurs. I invite you to get on the wait list to join the tribe of sunflowers and bloomers to create a life and business of freedom from perfectionism with the power of the subconscious mind. Go to bloombeyond.com/apply to apply, and we might see you on the other side. Stay bright, brave, and balanced.